So I'm here with Ellie again today, and Ellie's been having a little bit of trouble with listening and behaving. She's not wanting to be led. When I do try to lead her, if I try and hold her here, she tries to bite. How do we stop this? Well, the way we can stop this is through teaching her that if she does try to bite, there's going to be further pressure put on her face. Now I've got a halter here that's got some knots in it, which helps me a little bit better than one that doesn't have any. Now, it's not a fancy one or anything. Just picked up cheaply at the markets. It's actually a pretty good little halter. Does the job. Knots are in a good spot. Don't have to spend a lot to get equipment that'll work. Make your own if you need to. Now, right now, she's worrying about what's happening at the neighbours. The other thing, she's in my space, so what am I going to do? Yeah, there we go. I just bumped her one, and she came into my space. Concentrate. Just asking her, and if you watch her eye, she's been a little bit, she's listening, but she's like, oh, I'm half here and I'm half over there. That's not what I want. I'm not wanting half here and half there. I'm wanting all with me. Her mind on me completely. She's not a happy camper about it all. She'd rather be over there seeing what the heck's going on with them. They're about to load some horses into their truck, and I think they're going out. So she's excited and wanting to involve herself in what's happening over there, which is fair enough. Pretty exciting for her. But I'm wanting her to settle, and she's calming down nicely now, and to listen to me, because when she's in with me, this is who she's going to be paying attention to, so that I don't get hurt by the excitement that she feels, which is, she has a tendency when she's like that to want to get overexcited, run around, kick, jump, double barrel at the back and play. Nothing wrong with playing. She can play all she likes, but not when I'm in here. When I'm in here, we don't play. It's work. Now, you can see she's standing with her head nice. I'm going to ask her to drop, drop, drop. Ask her to drop, drop. Lovely. Give her a pat. Let her know that's good. Bring her attention back here. She's too busy watching over there. Something goes shkabang, shkabidle, shkabop. What's going to happen? If she's not focusing on me, what I'm asking her to do and where we're at, I'm going to be the one who ends up on the wrong end of the stick with this one. So, this way, desensitization is great. If you don't have a horse that's in tune with you, it doesn't matter what you do, you will not be successful in a situation where things go wrong. You won't be able to control it, and you won't be able to settle and calm the horse down if the horse doesn't understand how to read you back and what you're saying you mean. So, I noticed when I took her out, I hadn't ridden for a while because she had an injury. When I finally got her out, I had to walk her somewhere, and I don't often have to walk her anywhere, and this is where I fall into this trap. And you can see here, she's not compliant right there. I fell into the trap of, when I'm feeding her in the morning, she comes in here. I never lead her in. She just knows how to go and when to go. She knows when to go home. So I don't have to use the lead rope often, and I very rarely do. So when I do use the lead rope, I've been noticing lately that if I'm to put any pressure up here holding close like this, I'll either get one or two different behaviours. I'll either get a nipping behaviour where she'll pull in and she'll try to nip me like that, which is not allowed, or a pawing behaviour where she'll lift her leg up and start pawing at me. Simply because I haven't been working with the halter very often at all. I'll whack one on when I'm going to do some groundwork, but I haven't taken the time lately to reinforce and go back to the very basics of when I touch this, that's not for her to turn into her own personal, I'm going to bite you and do what I like business, and her domination. She is a very quiet mare, but she's also a dominant mare. She's standing nicely right now. She's being really good. And if something was to happen right now and she's working herself up a little bit here, she's going, breathing a bit heavier than she normally would. But she's got the shits because I'm making her do what I'm asking. And I'm not letting her do what she would like. So her ears aren't back, but they're not where they'd like to be. She's got that look of, I'd rather be doing something else. What are you waiting for? Let's move. Didn't ask her to move forward, so I'm going to back her back again. And little things like this, where as soon as she takes a step, unless I've invited, and when I say invited, come, and then ask her to stand. She's been invited into my space now. So if she was to be punished for that, that would be very silly of me to do. But if I ask her nicely to move back out of my space, and then she has an attitude, then I have the cue to use my own spatial force to get her to back off. And there we go. So a little step, but she's moved back out of my round elbow space. And if I continue to do that, she'll continue to back off. Even though her head is up, she will back off. Back out of my space. She's making sure she's keeping herself out of my realm. Now, I've moved in, she's not moving in with me. I didn't ask her to move in with me, so that's good. When I ask her to move in, change my energy, I relax a little, and I ask her to, whoa there, stand there. She's still not pleased about all this. She'd much rather be out there eating some grass. But she's listening. She's standing quietly and patiently. And that's all well and good while the lead is down there. What happens when I start to ask her, holding up here? And you'll see it in a second, she'll probably do it. If she comes to bring her face across towards me, I'm going to back that off. So when I go to reach up here, she decides she's going to grab at me, and she can very quickly go from there, latch onto me there in a matter of seconds. She's done it to me once, and she had to think very, very, very carefully before she ever tried it again, because she was met with my quick reflex, which was a bang, elbow right into the face. So she didn't actually get me. She did get nipped slightly, but I was able to, boom, like that. Boom. Quick as a horse will be with the bite. But if you're not quick, and she thinks, oh, I got a nip in, then the very next time you go to do this, what's she going to do? She's going to bite you. And she's going to probably do it a lot worse. And eventually it'll get to a point where you're so scared to even come up and touch her around her face that she won't. Back. She won't. Back. Asking her to move. And the reason I'm doing that right now is she's getting uncomfortable. I'm just asking her to back off a little bit and have a think about something. Have a think about what we've just done. She's coming back in. She's not comfortable. She wants to move. Back. Back. And I want her to stay right where she's at. As a matter of fact, she ain't going to be moving from there. We're going to wait. It's all right. And she just spooked then, and I just spooked. So there's something making her uncomfortable. I felt it. I moved back, and then she did this little jerk. So, just to get her to calm down, we'll give her something to think about. We'll drop, Good. And turn, 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 turn. Yeah. Now she's pulling her nose in towards me. Okay. Now, I'm going to give her some rope. And we're going to let her walk a little. Because she has still. You've got to remember, it's all about timing. When you want her to listen, there's got to be some release and reward as well. So what I would like her to do is walk with me while I'm holding at this point here, not while I'm holding at this point here. And you can see there's a big difference between being there and being here. So I'm going to ask her to walk and we'll see what happens. When I get a nice response without any biting or anything, it'll be a release. Good job. Now, a lot of people don't ever hold their horse at this proximity. They always keep themselves about this far away, and that's fine. But you need to be able to do anything, even if you had to lead from here, or you have to lead from here. And watch the difference. When I try to lead from here, she gets an attitude, and she doesn't like that. She doesn't want me to lead. And watch what happens. She tries to do that. So what do? I say back down. Put your head down. And you get a release. She licks and chews. Let's try again. Puts her head down. And she's humble. I can now lead from there. Let's try. And you can see very quickly, just a little bit of extra training can make the difference between whether or not you're able to actually lead your horse from different points. What if I need to lead from here? It's a strange place to lead from because you're not directly up the top or bottom. You really don't have very much control. But what if that's the only place you can get a hold of? What are you going to do? Let's see what she does. And because I've asked her already to allow me to lead her from that point, by asking her to allow me to lead her from this point, by asking her to allow me to lead her from this point, by asking her to allow me to lead me from over here. Now, where you start when you're teaching a horse to lead can be very different depending on the horse and its behaviours. Some horses you're going to be far away for a little bit. Other horses you're going to be right in, nice and close. It just depends on the behaviour. If the horse is a dangerous horse, you might start further out and work your way in. Or if it's a quiet horse, you might start in and work your way out. If it's a horse that likes to be led and you're trying to teach it some self-confidence to lead from further out, you're probably going to start in closer. Mine have all been different. When I got her, she was not trained whatsoever. The only time she ever had a halter on was when she was popped on the truck to be delivered up here. She's never been led, never had any training whatsoever. So I got her defiant, cranky, headstrong, and completely untrained. As a matter of fact, it was only that Graham from Prestige Horse Transport was the very first person to ever teach this horse anything. And it was a very good thing it was him because he's a great horseman. And I recommend Prestige Horse Transport for anybody who needs their horses transported anywhere in New South Wales, and I think they even do interstate. Pretty sure they go to Melbourne and Queensland. But yeah, and if you're in New South Wales and you get Prestige, ask for Graham, because I'll tell you right now, you won't get somebody better. Anyhow, just to show again that she's still going to allow me to lead from here. And she may change her mind and the head might start. And look, see, I just lost that there because I dropped that. But I'm going to say to her, we're not going to do that. We're going to walk with our head lowered. We're going to stop. And we're going to pay attention. And see this? Right there. When she's done that, now we drop. And ask her again. She's being a silly little bugger. And she went to nip me. And I don't want her to worry about what's going on with this horse truck that's moving around. She's aware of them. She's aware that they're going down the road. I'm aware of them and I'm aware that they're going down the road. And this is where the importance of having your horse's mind and her turning and realising and getting too close in the space is essential. If you don't want a horse to get out of control, so if you're in situations where there's some fear happening or there's something exciting going on and they're all, ooh, you don't want them with their head up here and you hanging from there because you're going to get dragged. Now, I'm a nervous human being and I'm petrified because I understand how easy it is to get dragged because I've been dragged. And I am scared. I will not, I don't have a problem admitting this because it's probably going to help someone else out there. I'm always worried whenever I'm walking a horse anywhere because of my anxiety. I'm constantly, I'm doing the horse thing. I'm looking for the danger. I'm being a crazy, look for anything wrong person, trying to just find something wrong so I'm prepared. Now, horses are used to me being that way because working with me all the time, they get that I'm nervous about stuff and that they really don't care whether I'm nervous about something or not. They know the difference between me being nervous because I'm just nervous by nature and an actual threat that I perceive. And when I have an actual threat that I perceive, they'll react accordingly. But when I'm just nervous like I am right now because I'm a bit scared that, oh, anything could go wrong here, she couldn't care less. She's relaxed. She's all in her own. I'm inside going, my heartbeat's going 100 miles an hour. She's relaxed. She's calm. Her heartbeat is nice and slow and steady. And she's not worried. Now, I'm just taking a look and seeing where this horse float's going, this horse truck's going. They're about to turn. So I'm now doing an Ellie, and you can see here, and she's done it again. So when she's done it, there's no release. When she puts her head down, there's a release. Come on. And we're going to work this again. And if she lifts her head up again, I'm going to yank. And it's not going to be pleasant for her. If she pulls up, it's not going to be pleasant. Yeah. But she didn't. She's behaved. So that horse truck's going in a different direction. So now we've turned on that direction, we're going to turn on this direction. And we're going to watch. And I'm going to let this rope here go down. Up. When she drops, I let her relax when she listens. And I should be able to lead. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I'm not asking you to do that. I'm asking you to follow me. I should be able to lead her with the slightest touch with a finger. Should be able to hook my pinky in and lead her with that. That's what should be happening. So she still needs more work, and she's probably going to need more work because she's gotten away with it for so long because I haven't actually been leading her. And I keep forgetting, yes, I'm working on riding and I'm working on getting out there, but I have literally not been working on the basic of asking her to have her head where I'd like her head to be. And now, and I'm pretty strict with this, I'll let her drop to a certain point, but she's not to go on the ground. So she'll go down. That's all right, that's okay, we don't mind. But she's not to go on the ground. And I'm going to watch this leg here, because if you watch her ears now, she's getting cranky right now. She's got the shitty look on her face, and her eyes are very much of a, right, what are we going to do? And she's getting bored as anything. I don't care if you're bored. If I've got to take you somewhere and you're bored and you start misbehaving like this, I'm in trouble. And then when I've got to grab you and ask you to do something, you're not going to want to go and do that. But see, she's liking being led down here now far better than being led up the top by the nose. This is a much more comfortable way to get the pressure. Next, again, as soon as she starts that, we're going to stop and we're going to think about it. We're not going to get to go where we wanted to go. Now the other thing is, you might be thinking this, what happens if you're teaching her this way? What happens when she figures out, and she very may well do so, see birds up there, what happens if she figures out that if she misbehaves, you'll stand still and stop? Well, then she try that while you're on their back. Well, the funny thing is, I'm only doing this to get her to respond well to this. So it's not going to be for long enough for her to actually learn a bad behaviour, number one. Number two, I'm stopping when she doesn't want to stop. If she wanted to stop, I'd be making her keep walking. Whatever it is that they're trying to do, you do the opposite. It's reverse psychology. It teaches them that if they want that release, that's what you're going to do. Some horses, you may have to keep moving until they behave. You may have to go, no, we're keeping on going. And we're going to walk. And now see, she's wanting to stop, so I'm saying no, we're going to walk. We're going to walk. And I don't exactly have very good control there, but the more that she listens, the better the control is going to be, and the more I can relax and go, okay, well now I've got you where I'd like you, and you're doing a good job, and thank you very much. And she's doing a, okay. And I'm going to say, no, we didn't ask for that. Ask for our head. So let's go this direction. And I want her to go inside. And see that there isn't a reaction. It's not good. Good. Come on. No. I don't want you to do that. I want you to move your feet. So I'm asking her to move her feet, and she's pulling a stupid. No, she's just. So see this? This is. Okay, so we'll move to this side. I'm going to say to her, we're going this way. Because it's not very natural for me to ask her to turn that direction and be on the outside first. And see this attitude that just came through there. And this is where we're going to stop that. And once she stands with a nice face, doesn't want to turn, I'm going to get her to turn, and we're going to stop. I'm going to think about it. Thinking. Going to use the nose band this time again. And I'm going to use one finger on the nose band, and we're going to stop. I'm going to drop about there, and we're going to stand and think about it again. I'm actually going to drop everything here, and I'm just going to leave her with her lead rope there for a minute. Let her have a think about it, see if she'll have a bit of a process with it, and licking and chewing now, so that's good. Once she's done that, I'll lift her head back up, and we're going to try one more go. Now, I'm not going to go on and on and on with this all day for her, but just one more. Take this here. I need to steer her from this side. Away from me, forward towards me. That's what I want. Very good. And she's being a bit silly. So we're going to go, okay. We're going to stand. We'll go on the other side. And we're going to go again. Come on. Got a sore belly? Or you just being silly? Ah. Now, that we're not going to take. Take a lot of things, but we won't take that. Let's go. Now, I'm asking her to heal herself here. Now, all this seems silly, frivolous, but it is really not. You practice these things for a few days, even for 5 minutes, and you're going to find a horse that's far more responsive than what you had earlier on. And the other thing is you have much better signalling and talk through your body language to her when she's willing to respond to less than more. So when she's happy to have less, there's a bit of a scab there. When she has less of an issue and she doesn't have to, you don't have to do as much to get her to do something, your relationship is going to be far better than if you have to be yanking, pulling, grabbing and holding. If you just have to hook a little pinky here and say, come on, let's go. You're then going to be able to eventually not even need to ever get that close in the majority of situations. You're just going to have her mind. And it is a beautiful feeling when you do that, when you get them mind and they're happy to oblige and happy to work with you. It's a really lovely feeling. And a nice little scratch under the chin or around the ears or on the neck is a really good reward for them when they're being well behaved like this. I'm going to release her now. And she says, oh, thank God for that. Thank God for that. And she'll go off and do her own thing. Off you go. Oh, she might just come and say, I'd like a bit more of a scratch. No, off she goes. And she's heading out to do whatever it is she's going to do. So just basic, back to basics. When you get good at something, don't just forget about it and not practice it. It's the same as people who do CPR. You go every year and renew your parts of your CPR so that you are not out of touch with things. Because if we don't use it, we lose it. It's the same with horses. You don't use it, you lose it. You haven't taught them and kept on teaching, you can then have a bit of a problem. And yesterday I had a problem with her because I was trying to transfer her, and I wanted to walk her where I was going, and she had the big toss in the head attitude trying to nip me and bite me. So this is why I've done this today, just to remind her that that's not on and that's not how we work together. Anyway, have a good day. Hopefully this can help someone.